गौरप्रिया शाक सेवाने जीवन सार्थक माने। भक्ति विनोद कृष्ण भजने अनुकूल पाय जाहा। प्रति दिवसे परम सुखे स्वीकार करो एतः। शुद्ध भक्ता चरण रेणु भजन अनुकूल। भगत सेवा परम सिद्धि प्रेम लती कर मूला। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare। Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare। Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare। Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe, Jaya Jagannatha Jagannatha Baladeva Maya Subhadra, Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai। Jai Jai Prabhupāda Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Śrīla Prabhupada. Dust from the lotus feet of pure devotee is conducive to devotional service, while service to the Vaishnava is itself the supreme perfection and the root of the tender creeper of divine love. I observe with great care the holy day like Ekadashi and Janmashtami, for they are the mother of devotion. As my dwelling place, I choose with the greatest of reverence and love transcendental abode of Lord Krishna. All those places where my Lord Gaur Sundar travel for pastime, I will visit in the company of loving devotees. My mind always begs on the opportunity to hear the music of the mridanga. Upon hearing the kind of a kirtan ordained by Lord Gaurchandra, my heart danced in ecstasy. By beholding the deity form of the divine couple, Shri Shri Radha Krishna, I feel the greatest joy. By honoring the Lord's prasad, I conquer over all worldly illusions. Goloka Vrindavan appear in my home whenever I see worship and service of Lord Hari going on there. Upon seeing the Ganges, which is the river of nectar emanating from the lotus feet of the Lord, my happiness knows no bound. The sight of the holy Tulasi tree soothes my soul, for I know she gives pleasure to Lord Krishna. By honoring Shak, a green leafy vegetable preparation, a dear favorite of Lord Chaitanya, I consider life worthwhile. Whatever bhakti we not obtain, that is conducive for service of Sri Krishna, he accepts every day with the greatest of joy. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Nari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Nari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Banachari. Hare Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Hare Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Banachari. Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Banachari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha, Jagannatha, Baladeva Maya Subhadra. Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Patita Pavana Gauranitai. Jai Jaya Prabhupāda, 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 Jai Śrīla Prabhupāda. जय श्री राधा मदन मोहन जो की, जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मैया की, पतित पावन शिशु गौर निताय भगवान की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru, Shri Gauranga. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakayam Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sapadam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Miti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadamnaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktirupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakti Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam Pangum langhayati girim Yatkripatamaham bande Shri Guru Deenatarinam. So we welcome all of you today morning for Srimad Bhagavatam class. Daily morning we have Guru Puja. So daily we do offering to Srila Prabhupada here. The actual way we can do Guru Puja is following the instruction. That is the actual Guru Puja. And His Grace Anandamaya Prabhu doing that last 45-50 years, taking instruction of Srila Prabhupada as his life and soul. So before we start reading about Srila Prabhupada, we'll take his blessing. So I can just repeat whatever is mentioned in this book. Like we heard Srimad Bhagavatam, similarly we heard Srila Prabhupada-līlāmṛta. So there is no difference between Srila Prabhupada-līlāmṛta and Srimad Bhagavatam and Charitamrita, because whatever mentioned there is practically demonstrated here. So somehow or other by reading the theory we may not able to realize, but by seeing and hearing the pastime of Srila Prabhupada, we can get inspiration in our life. So I like to seek blessing of all the Vaishnavas assembled here. So there will not be discussion so much, but at least I can read as it is whatever mentioned. So we are reading from Srila Prabhupada-līlāmṛta, Volume 2, Planting the Seed, New York City, 1965-1966. We're in the chapter on the Bauri. Sitting cross-legged, his back to the shelf with its assortment of potted plants, a whitish chadar wrapped in wide, loose fold across his body, Prabhupada looked grave, almost sorrowful. The picture and an accompanying article appeared in a June issue of the Village Voice. The article read, The meeting of the mystical West and practical East comes alive in the curious contrast between A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami and his American disciples. The Swami, a cultivated man of 70, with a distinguished education is here for a year to preach his gospel of peace, goodwill, nearness to God, and more practically to raise money for his American church. Like his teaching, the Swami is sensible and direct. His main teaching is that mankind may come closer to God by reciting holy name. Despite the fact that Swami came to America, seek out the root of godless materialism, a disease, he said, that has already enveloped India. He is a realistic man. If there is any place on earth with money to build a temple, it is here. The Swami wishes to found in America an international society for Krishna consciousness, which will be open for anyone, including women. The article had been written by Howard Smith. He had first heard of Swami by a phone call from a contact who had told him of an interesting holy man from India living in a loft in the Bowery. Go there anytime, Howard's contact had told him. He's always there. I think you'll find it fascinating. I believe he's about to start a major religious movement. Howard Smith. So I went down there and went upstairs into this very funky artist's loft. There were carpets all over the place, old and worn out, and lot of people sitting around in various kind of hippies garb. Plus, what I think they must have thought was Indian grab. Most of them were sitting alone around the room facing the wall, like they had nothing to do with each other. They were sitting cross-legged, and each one seemed to be doing something different. Nobody paid attention. Nobody paid any attention to me when I walked in. This is the general tendency of the Muni. Like if you go to Himalayan country, we'll see that each Muni is sitting below each tree and they never come together. But devotee, whatever they do, they will do together. I saw shoes line up and I thought, maybe I'm supposed to take off my shoes. But nobody said anything to me. So I walked around the edge of the carpet, looking for somebody to pay attention to me. I wondered what was going on, and I did not want to interrupt anybody because they all seemed deep in whatever kind of prayer they were doing. In the back of loft, I noticed a little curtain, an Indian Madras type of curtain, and so decided I had peered into the area. I looked in, and there was Swami Bhaktivedanta sitting there cross-legged in saffron garments, with the marking on his forehead and nose, and his hand in the bead bag. Even though he looked like a real thing, he seemed more approachable. And I said, hello. And he looked up, and I said, Swami Bhaktivedanta? He said, yes. I said, I am Howard Smith. I was expecting to sit down. So I said, excuse me, I had to take off my shoes. And he said, why don't you want to take off your shoes? I said, I don't know. I saw all the shoes out there. And he said, I did not ask you to take off your shoes off. I said, what are all these people out here doing? What are all those people out there doing? And he said, I don't know. And they don't know what they are doing. I'm trying to teach them. And they seem to be misunderstanding me. They are very confused people. Then we sat down and talked. And I liked him a lot right away. I mean, I had met a lot of other Swamis and I did not like them too much. And I don't think it's fair to lump them all together and say, Those saw me in India because he was very, very basic. And that's what I seem to like about him. He not only made me feel to ease, but he seemed very open and honest. Like he asked my advice on things. He was very new in the country. I thought his idea stood a good chance of taking hold because he seemed to so practical. His head did not seem in the cloud. He was not walking mysticism every third word. I guess that is where his soul was at. But that is not where his normal conversational consciousness was at. When he said several people had told him that the voice will be very good place to be written up and that basically it will reach the kind of people who already perhaps had a learning or interest in what he was preaching. And I said that I thought he was correct. He asked me if I had read any book or knew anything about Indian culture, and I said, no, I did not really. We talked a little, and he explained to me that he had this book in English and that he had already translated in India. And he handed those book to me and said, if you want more background, you can read this book. It was obvious to me that I was not talking to some fellow who had just decided that he had seen God and was going to tell people about it. He seemed to be an educated man, much more than myself, actually. And I like his humbleness. I like his humbleness. I just plain like the guy. He explained everything I wanted to know. The significance of what he was wearing, the mark on his forehead, the bead bag, and I like all his explanation. Everything was practical. Then he talked about temple all over the world, and he said, "Well, we have got a long way to go, but I am very patient." Prabhupada had a hope for what the Voice article had referred to as his American church. There was a life in his lecture and kirtans, and at least he was acquiring a small regular following. But from India, there was no hope. He had continued corresponding with Sumati Morarji, his godbrothers, and Indian central government, but their replies had not been encouraging. In the faith that Padmapat Singhania will agree to his plan for a Krishna temple in Manhattan and finance its construction, Prabhupada had petitioned New Delhi to sanction the release of foreign exchange. He had written to the Reserve Bank of India, New Delhi, I want to establish this cultural center, and for this I wish to get some exchange from India. I think there are good prospects all over the world for propagating the culture, how to love God in this way in this day of forgetfulness. A month later, the Indian bank had advised him to resubmit his request through the Indian embassy in Washington to the finance minister of the Indian central government. Prabhupada had complied, and another month had passed with no word from the government. One of his godbrother had written that Swamiji should come back to India and work personally to get government sanction. But Prabhupada did not want to leave America now. He wrote to Sumati Morarji and trying to avoid the journey to India and again coming. And again coming back, especially for the reason that I am holding at above address classes thrice a week and training some American youth in the matter of Sankirtan and devotional service to the Lord. Some of them are taking the lesson very sincerely. And in the future, they may be very good Vaishnavas according to the rigid standard. On the day of curious, unsolicited correspondent wrote to Prabhupada from India. His name was Mukti Brahmachari, introducing himself as a disciple of one of Prabhupada's godbrother and reminding Prabhupada of their past slight acquaintance. Mukti wrote of his eagerness to Prabhupada. Mukti wrote of his eagerness to join Prabhupada in America. Certainly, Prabhupada had hopes for getting assistance from his godbrothers in India. This mission is not simply one man's work. Therefore, he invited Mukti to come to America and asked him to request his guru to cooperate by working personally to secure government sanction for the release of foreign exchange. Mukti wrote back, reaffirming his eagerness but expressing doubt that his spiritual master would give him permission. Mukti thought he should first come to the United States and then request his spiritual master's help. Prabhupada was annoyed and he sent an immediate reply. Is preaching in America my private business? Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati wanted to construct some temple in foreign country as a preaching center of the message of Srila Rupa Raghunath. And I am trying to do this in this part of world. The money is ready. The opportunity is open. If by seeing the finance minister this work can be facilitated, why should we wait? Because you cannot talk with your Guru Maharaj about cooperation. Because you are afraid your journey will be cancelled. Please do not think in that way. Take everything as Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada work and try to do needful. Do not think for a moment that my interest is different from that of your Guru Maharaj. We are executing the will of Srila Prabhupada according to our own capacity. A combined effort would have been far better. You can see such a nice chance Srila Prabhupada had. Somebody is coming, he could have taken from the back door. We told, no, first you check with your spiritual master. Until he allow, you cannot come. And second thing we can see, like if you see Bhagavad Gita, so Krishna had given full credit to Arjun. If you see Ramayana, Lord Ram had given full credit to Hanuman. So similarly, preaching the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had given full credit to Srila Prabhupada. Nobody else. Like in future, nobody will ask that at least one person went to assist Srila Prabhupada from India. So in that way, 100% credit goes to Srila Prabhupada. Single-handedly, an old man had done this. Mukti submitted the entire proposal before his spiritual master, who, as Mukti predicted, cancelled the trip. Although Mukti's guru was Srila Prabhupada's godbrother, he did not want to be involved and he doubted that Prabhupada will actually get a donation from Padmapat Singhania. And now Mukti Brahmachari also doubted. If your program is not bona fide, the approach to a big personality will be ludicrous, one no doubt. On the same day that Prabhupada received the ludicrous letter, he also received the final blow of non-cooperation from Indian government. Second Secretary Prakash Shah of the Indian Embassy in Washington DC wrote, due to existing condition of foreign exchange stringency, it is not possible for the government of India to accede to your request for release of foreign exchange. You may perhaps like to raise funds from the resident in America. It was confirmed. Prabhupada will have to work without outside help. He will continue alone in New York City. His last letter to Mukti Brahmachari revealed his deep faith and determination. So, the controversy is now closed, and there is no need of help from anyone else. We are not always successful in our attempt at preaching work, but such failures are certainly not ludicrous. In the absolute field, both success and failure are glorious. Even Lord Nityananda pretended to be failure at converting Jagai and Madhai in first attempt. Rather, he was personally injured in such an attempt. But that was certainly not ludicrous. The whole thing was transcendental and it was glorious for all parties concerned. In Krishna consciousness, wherever to take hold in America, it will have to be without assistance from the Indian government or Indian financiers. Indian finances. Not even a lone Indian brahmachari will join him. Krishna was revealing his plan to Prabhupada in a different way. With Singhania sanction scheme finish, and behind him Prabhupada will turn all his energy towards the young men and women coming to him in his Bauri loft. He wrote to Srimati Morarji, I am now trying to incorporate one corporation of the local friend and admirers under the name International Society of Krishna Consciousness Incorporated. All of these friends and admirers, Prabhupada gave his roommate David Allen the most personal attention and training. He felt he was giving David a special chance to become America's first genuine Vaishnava. Prabhupada will eventually return to India and he wanted to take David to Vrindavan. He will show his temple worship and train him for future preaching in the West. He had requested Srimati Morarji to provide free passage for David as well as for himself. You will be pleased to see this American boy. He is coming of a good family and is sincere soul to this line of culture. There are others also in the class I am holding here, but I wish to take with name only one of them. So there is interesting how Srila Prabhupada came across Srimati Morarji. So there was a Kumbh Mela in Prayagraj, 1950 or 1960. So Srimati Morarji, being a pious lady, she was distributing Dabba Prasad to the sadhus in the Kumbh Mela. And the Kumbh Mela we see, one tent is for the Vaishnavas, one camp, and other camp is for Shaivets and Mayavadi. Srimati Morarji was distributing prasad in the Vaishnava camp. So everybody was accepting prasad. But when Srimati Morarji came to Prabhupada, he asked, who you are? So she told, I am coming from the Bombay. Oh, you are coming from Bombay. Can you help me to cross over the sea? Because Bombay is on the ocean beach. So she was stunned, like, Prabhupada don't know also who she is. Just she came from the Bombay. Prabhupada told, can you help me to cross the sea? And she told, I am the owner of one of the here company, Scindia Steamship Company. And that time Srimati Morarji gave her visiting card to Prabhupada. And Prabhupada kept it preserved. And he'll visit whenever possible. Then he used to go Bombay to her place to see her. Like this he came across the Srimati Morarji. So you can see last so many years before going to US, Prabhupada was preparing. He met his spiritual master in 1922. 1965 he went to United States. Almost 43 years Prabhupada was preparing himself to execute the work single-handedly. So now time is up. We'll just see uh, like today is a very auspicious day, Ekadashi. So on Ekadashi day, we do fast from grain, pulses, and beans. And since tomorrow is the appearance day of Varahadev, so therefore we are fasting today. Because Ekadashi fast get completed when we break the fast, Parana. Now tomorrow Parana time is the Varahadev appearance time, is we fasting till noon. So then we cannot break the Ekadashi fast. So Ekadashi fast will remain as it is. You know the story of Ambarish Maharaj, Durvasa Muni came and all these things. So therefore to fast on the appearance day of Varahadev, we are fasting today. Therefore it's called Varaha Dvadashi. So this Ekadashi is very, very auspicious. The Ekadashi on which Dvadashi also comes, especially Varaha Dvadashi. It's very, very auspicious Ekadashi. And moreover, Varahadev is very kind to the devotee. The way we have daily prayer for the Narsimhadev, similarly Varahadev, because he brought the earth from the Garbhodak ocean. Similarly, we can pray to Varahadev, our consciousness which is went deep in the Rasatala. By his mercy, it can come and properly place in the lotus feet of Shri Radha Krishna, Nitai Gaur Sundar, Srila Prabhupada Spiritual Master. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.